Now for our story. In the sunny breakfast room of Ben Calvert's home this morning, Jessie Calvert was sipping her second cup of coffee. She had the paper folded neatly beside her so that the caption, "Sensational Culmination Calvert-Meade Custody Suit," was prominently displayed. Jessie looked remarkably cheerful as her eyes dwelt on this item. It meant that, at last, Ben must realize the truth concerning his daughter, Kitt. Kitt, who had taken another woman's child, had lied to Ben, telling him the baby boy was his own grandson. Yes, as she scanned the newspaper account of the trial this morning, Jessie was in the best of spirits. Now she looks up smiling as...
Good morning.
Good morning, Ben. Did you sleep well last night?
No.
Too bad, Ben. I'm sorry. Shall I have Lucy bring you some bacon and eggs?
I'm not hungry.
Well, do drink your orange juice at least. Coffee's delicious this morning. Thank heaven I finally managed to train Lucy to make it strong enough.
I've never noticed anything wrong with Lucy's coffee.
And it was like dishwater. Now you just taste this and see if it isn't an improvement. Here you are. Cream, Ben?
No, thanks. I'll take it black this morning. Jessie, is there any mail?
Why, no, not yet anyway. Postman hasn't come.
He may have by now. Now I'll go take a look.
Oh, but then wait, I did just look. Besides, when he does come, Lucy will bring it in. You know, she always does.
She may have forgotten.
Oh, Ben. Why can't you relax? Be sensible. Ever since yesterday, you jump like an eager lover every time the phone rings or someone comes to the door. I know what's the matter with you. You're expecting a wire from Kitt or a phone call.
Well, what if I am?
Frankly, Ben, you surprise me. Why you should worry about that girl after the way she's treated you.
I'm not worried. I'm curious, that's all.
Curious? Why would you be? What difference does it make where Kitt is, what she's up to?
I'd just like to know, that's all. What possible justification could she have for what she's done?
Oh, Kitt doubtless could think of lots of justifications. She's a master at twisting things to her own advantage, Ben. You should know that by now. But I should think you'd also know how false her rationalizations can be.
I can't believe it. Even yet. How could she?
You surprise me. I never thought you were so naive, so gullible. Obviously, Kitt took that baby from Lisa Fenner, went through all that rigmarole, just to protect her own selfish interests. She didn't care if she ruined her father's life into the bargain. And then she clears out, leaving you holding the bag. Saves her own skin.
Kitt's not a coward, Jessie. Whatever else you can say against her.
Well, then why didn't she stay and face the music?
Well, after all, when she saw that Fenner woman there in the courtroom, she must have known Willoughby would take some action against her.
Exactly. So rather than take her medicine, she skipped out. Oh, Ben, why don't you wake up? Kitt's taking you for the most fantastic ride. And here you are like a wounded bear lumbering around looking for someone else to blame.
What do you mean by that? Looking for... It's nonsense.
No, it isn't. I know you too well, Ben Calvert. It's that famous Calvert pride all over again. You hate to admit your daughter could be in the wrong.
Well, as far as that goes, according to this Fenner girl's story, Kitt had lost her own baby. She wanted a child desperately.
There you go. You see, you can't stand admitting your own daughter could do anything so utterly despicable. Then that girl never has cared for you, believe me.
If only she'd told me, confided in me.
She didn't dare take the chance. If you'd have known that child wasn't your own grandson, you'd hardly have settled all that money on it.
To let me go on, making a fool out of myself, bragging about my grandchild, making me ridiculous before the whole town. Oh, it makes my blood boil, Jessie.
I don't blame you, Ben. Nobody could blame you. She's made you suffer deliberately. She didn't care. She was getting what she wanted.
And all the time she must have been laughing up her sleeve at what a fine fool she was making of me. Kitt knew the town was just waiting for a chance like this.
Of course she did. And nobody can deny you've given Kitt the best of everything, especially from a material standpoint. Aren't your insurance policies made out to her?
It's not the money, Russell. I don't begrudge my daughter any money I spent on her. It's the hurt to my pride and to my feelings. The fact that she'd put me in this position so that people can think that I'd have a hand in palming off this child as my own grandson.
Well, Ben, I doubt if anyone really believes you're connected with that part of it.
What else can they think?
Don't forget, a lot of people in this town have had dealings with that precious daughter of yours at one time or another. They probably know.
No, I don't believe it. How could they? Besides, they'd be only too glad to accuse me of doing a thing like that.
Then why don't you place the blame where it belongs? Squarely on Kitt's own shoulders.
But how can I? My hands are tired. All I can do is sit back like an idiot and let them think whatever they want.
But then that wouldn't be necessary.
What else can I do?
Well, then there's no reason why you should take the rap for Kitt's actions. Tell them the whole story.
I have a hand-painted picture of that. Me running all over town, proclaiming the fact that I'm an innocent victim. That my daughter made a sucker of me.
You know, Ben, it's just possible I might be able to help from that angle. A word here and there, they'd believe me all right.
Yeah, I doubt it. It's no secret, Jessie, that you and Kitt never hit it off. I doubt if they'd believe you, knowing how you resented her.
No, I admit I've resented Kitt, Ben. And now I should think you'd see why. I knew. I've known ever since Kitt came back from California that she didn't care a snap for you. Heaven knows it was plain enough in her actions. Naturally, I resented it.
That's right. You tried to warn me, Jessie. And I wouldn't listen. I thought I was so wise.
You can't be blamed for it. It would be difficult for a father to believe his daughter could be so ruthless, so lacking in natural affection.
I'm beginning to see, Jessie. Perhaps I have been wrong. Perhaps I haven't realized where the loyalty in this family actually was.
That's what I've been trying to tell you all along.
Yes. Yes, I've been foolish. You tried to warn me.
I'm sorry you had to learn the truth the hard way, Ben. Truly I am. I'm your wife, and your best interests are mine. They always have been.
I believe you, Jessie. You only wanted to help me. To spare me disillusion and disappointment.
I'm so glad you understand that, Ben. And I do hope you'll remember it from now on.
Yes, Jessie, you're very anxious to entrench yourself, to ensure a position in your husband's good graces. Kitt is out of the picture now. There is no heir to the Calvert fortune. You keep thinking of Ben's will, the money he had tied up in the baby boy he believed to be his grandson. But you won't rest easy until Kitt's name has been removed from those precious documents which represent lifetime security and your own name substituted. That's why you're working so carefully to remind Ben of his daughter's disloyalty, to keep his anger against her smoldering. Now for our story. It was lunchtime in Wakefield, and the little town's coffee shops and restaurants were crowded with shopkeepers and clerks or farmers and their wives who had come into market. It was ordinarily an animated hour or two when people ran into acquaintances, stopped to exchange a bit of news or gossip. But today, from the coffee shop in the Brown Palace Hotel to the simpler surroundings of Lee's Diner at the other end of Main Street, there was an unusual buzz of excitement. The local newspaper, the Wakefield Sentinel, had doubled its distribution lately, while the Calvert Meade custody suit had been in progress. And now, on the day following the sensational culmination of the case, the townspeople are busily discussing every aspect of it. Bill Meade, who had instituted the custody suit for a child which turned out to be Lisa and Lance Fenner's son, knew only too well what a stir of interest his entrance into any of the eating places would create, and so he decided to skip lunch. Instead, he strolled over to the square and sat down on a bench in the sun. A moment later, he saw a handsome, rather stocky young man coming toward him, Mario Descari, a young man with thick, dark, curly hair, wearing a clean, faded blue work shirt. Mario grins happily as he catches sight of his friend.
Hello, Mr. Meade.
Hi, Mario.
Say, I'm glad to see you. I'm on my way to the bank, but I figured you'd be having lunch about now. I was afraid I'd miss you.
Yeah, well, I usually do go out for a bite about this time, but today I didn't feel especially hungry.
Sure, Mr. Meade. I know how that is. I saw the paper this morning about the tough luck you had with the baby. Oh, it's a bad business.
Well, just one of those things, Mario.
Everybody's talking about it today. They're sure pulling for you, Mr. Meade. When you got a kid, it's a big thing. Me? I've been wanting one a long time. But...
Yeah, it makes you feel pretty good.
Carl and me, we were talking about it this morning. Say, why don't you come out and have dinner with us? I got some good red wine. Carl will make chicken cacciatore, the way you like it. Why don't you, Mr. Meade?
Oh, thanks, Mario. It sounds very tempting, but not tonight. Soon, though. I get a big kick out of coming out to your place.
Okay, you let us know. Anytime.
I will. Hey, by the way, how's everything going out there? I haven't seen you for quite a while, what with all this trial and stuff.
Everything's just fine. We got the new barn almost finished. It looks great. Rosa, she's the red cow. She thinks she's a queen, I guess. Her own stall. And with her name up above.
Her name?
Sure. Carla painted her name up above. Very grand.
I should say it was.
Well, Carla said it would make her feel at home in your barn.
You've got a wonderful wife, Mario. And a very pretty one, too.
Carla. She's the best.
Come to think of it, you're a pretty lucky guy. Let me see, now, you've only been out of the Army a short while.
4 months. Look, not quite.
And here you are getting the farm into shape, a good crop.
That's the loan you fixed up for us. We couldn't have done it without the money. After my old man died, things all went to the dickens. Boy, when I came back, I was as mad as a bull. I saw red.
I know. I'll never forget the day you came to talk about getting a loan. You were breathing fire.
It made me sore seeing the way everything was run down. Oh, I got over it right away, though. Didn't I?
Yeah, we snapped out of it, Mario. Hey, did you get the house painted yet?
You should see it, Mr. Meade. Carla wanted it white. There's blue around the windows. The way they do in Italy, where our people come from. Oh, it looks swell. She's got red flowers around in front and a table under the trees. Real pretty.
I don't know how she finds time to do everything.
Carla works hard. She won't hardly rest. I keep telling her, you gotta rest. Don't do so much. But, will she listen?
Well, don't worry, Mario. She'll slow down one of these days. When she has a bambino.
Yeah, when she has a bambino. Well, I'm going over to make my payment at the bank now.
Well, aren't you early with it, Mario? It isn't due till the 15th.
I know, but Carla says, so if we've got the money ready, let's pay it and get it over with. Then we can forget until next month.
Well, maybe she's right at that. But most people don't look at it that way.
She's smart. Oh, you know what, Mr. Meade?
No.
I'm going to bring her a big surprise.
You are?
Yeah. There's a red dress in the window at Swanson. Oh, she'd be beautiful in it. $12.95. That's a lot of money, but I'm going to buy it for her.
Swell. Maybe she'll wear it the night I come out to dinner.
Sure thing. We'll have a celebration. You can sing that song for us.
Sure. What song?
You remember the one you sang the night of Angelina's wedding? Barbara Allen.
Oh, gosh, I forgot all about that. And me with a voice like a foghorn.
But it's good and loud, Mr. Meade.
As the two young men started walking toward the bank, still laughing, they were observed from the window of Ben Calvert's office across the square by Jessie, Ben's wife, who stood idly looking out while she waited for Ben to take her to lunch.
Look, Ben.
Jessie, if you'll give me a chance to get these letters
But I'm curious. Is that man with the stare across the square with Bill?
The bill? Where? Oh, yes.
I must say, Bill's looking awfully cheerful for a man who's been through what he has.
He hasn't enough sense to be affected.
Mario's a good-looking chap, isn't he? The Army doesn't seem to have hurt him. I think I read something about his return in the paper. Didn't David Bowman give them a loan on their farm?
He certainly did.
Odd they didn't come to you.
Well, they would have if Bill Meade hadn't gotten to them ahead of me. I've always had my eye on that Tiscari place. Some of the richest land around here. It was going to wreck and ruin while this Mario was away. He's done wonders with it since he came home.
I imagine he's a hard-working lad. But the nose is built for it, and broad shoulders.
I passed by their place the other day, putting up a new barn. Well, that's one time where David Bowman made a good bargain. If it hadn't been for Bill.
But Bill can't resent the fact that Bill gave them a loan. It's part of his job.
He's got no business here in Wakefield anyway. Why doesn't he go back to Oregon, or wherever he came from?
Maybe he doesn't want to. After all, Ben, you're not a dictator. You can't tell people where they're going to live, what they're going to do.
Ever since he came here, he's caused me nothing but trouble. First he marries Kitt.
With a certain amount of cooperation on her part, and yours.
And ever since then, it's Bill Meade, Bill Meade, Bill Meade. I've gotten to a point where I hate the sound of his name, let alone the sight of him. I wish to heaven there was some way to get rid of him.
Now, Ben, this is a free country. You're pretty all-powerful in this town, but you're not that powerful. No, I'm afraid you're just have to grin and bear it. It isn't as if he hasn't had his share of grief, too. I'm surprised to see him at work today. But evidently he is, poor fellow.
Poor fellow, my eye.
He and Miss Mario seem to be pretty pally. Isn't it very strange? Somebody was mentioning just the other day. I guess it was Mrs. Trumbull over
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Jessie. The way women ramble. You don't have to give me the whole history.
Oh, you're so impatient, Ben. Now I've forgotten.
Well, never mind then.
Oh, yes, now I remember. About this Mario. They say he has a very pretty little wife. Nice, sensible girl, but it's so peculiar. He never brings her to town, never takes her out anywhere. Apparently he wants to keep her all to himself.
Well, what about it? I don't see anything so odd.
No, nothing really. Although Mrs. Trumbull said he has a reputation for being fiendishly jealous, and there's no reason in the world why he should be either. But it does look as if he has a temper at that. Rather surprised he and Bill are such good friends. I understand the whole family keeps pretty much to itself.
Bill, can't you talk about anything else?
Oh, I just meant Bill's a very attractive man, and he must have to go out to the Discaries every so often. Oh, anyway, Ben, you have to get so riled every time Bill's name is mentioned. You're getting a positive obsession on the subject. It's not healthy.
Jessie Calvert was closer to the truth than she realized. Ben did have an irrational hatred for Bill Meade, especially since the conclusion of the custody suit, since his daughter Kitt had disappeared, leaving Ben to face the ridicule of the townspeople. Now he instinctively looked for a scapegoat so that he could put the blame on someone else. And Bill Meade provided a convenient focal point for his hatred. Yes, Jessie, when you say Ben's attitude is unhealthy, you're only too right. It may turn out to be very unhealthy for somebody else. Now for our story. It was early afternoon. Aunt Mary came through the swinging glass doors of the Brown Palace Hotel in Wakefield. As she walked along rather slowly, there was a thoughtful look on her face. A moment before, she had said goodbye to Nicholas Dorn, the young writer to whom her niece Peggy had been engaged. The date for the wedding was set. The invitations had been sent out. But now Peggy's marriage to Nicholas was never to be, for the young man had decided to go away. His letter of explanation to his pretty young fiancée was in Aunt Mary's purse. And even though Mary Lane respected his reasons and felt that his decision had been the right one, she couldn't help wondering what effect it would have on her niece. But now, as she starts to pass Stephen's paint and hardware store...
Aunt Mary? Aunt Mary? Oh, hello, Lily. Goodness, you certainly were a million miles away. Well, Lily, I was about 5 miles away. 5 miles, let's see. Way I calculate, that would just about be it a long time. Am I right? Yes. I bet you were thinking about Peggy. Wondering how she's taking everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about it too, Aunt Mary. It's funny when you look back on things, you wonder how you ever could have been so dumb as not to guess. I mean about Lisa. There I was rooming with her in Chicago, and the idea that she had a baby, that she was tangled up with Kitt Calvert, well, it never even entered my head.
I don't wonder, Lily. It was all so strange.
It sure was. Oh, by the way, Lisa called me last night on her way back to Chicago.
Oh? What did she have to say?
She just explained that she hadn't felt up to saying goodbye to everybody. You know. I told her she and Lance might as well go on using my apartment if they wanted to.
No, that was nice of you, Lily.
I thought it was the least I could do. Incidentally, I had a wire from Dell. She's coming down tomorrow.
Yes, I know. I had a wire last night.
Oh, and I guess she sent mine afterwards. She said to tell you not to bother meeting her. She'll stop in at the hotel first, then go on out to the farm.
I see. I'm awfully glad Bill's coming down.
Oh, my. I got a lot of little problems to iron out about the supper club. Anyway, I'd like to see you, so-and-so. I miss you.
How's the supper club getting along, Lily? You must be almost ready for the grand opening.
Oh, pretty soon, I hope. But I've run into quite a few headaches trying to get materials and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, other things.
Other things, Lily? What do you mean?
Well, people have sort of let me know that I'm an actress. Well, I guess they don't think much of me around here. I wish everyone was like you, Aunt Mary.
But you mustn't think the people here don't like you, Lily. They may be a little cautious at first about accepting a new person. But they'll thaw out gradually. 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 The longer they know you.
I want the club to be a success. Reminds me. I'm just on my way to Bowman about a loan. It's quite a good friend of yours, isn't it?
Oh, my. We've been close friends for years. I thought we were married. He was a very young man then, of course.
Well, he doesn't seem to have aged an awful lot. I've only seen him a couple of times, but I thought he was quite an attractive guy.
Yes. One might say he was a handsome man. You know, he's had a lot of traveling in his life. He's had a very interesting life, Lily. I remember he was gone for several years just after the last war. Living in France.
Wow, that's encouraging. I've been sort of dreading this interview. If he's been around, maybe he won't hold it against me that I'm an actress.
No, I'm sure that wouldn't matter to David at all. I believe he feels much as I do, that it's what a person is inside that's important. I've often thought it's a pity David never married. He would have made a wonderful husband for the right girl.
Why didn't he, Aunt Mary?
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aunt Mary, I think I know. I bet he was in love with you.
Oh, but all that was years and years ago, Lily.
All right, I guess you'd rather not talk about it. You must have been beautiful, Aunt Mary. You still are.
Lily.
Why, Aunt Mary, you're blushing. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you. Well, I have an appointment with Mr. Burns at 2. I better run along. I want to make a good impression on him. At least I'll be on time.
Yes, Mr. Long, come right in. Through that little gate there. Yeah. Well, how do you do? Sit down, won't you?
Thanks.
Let's see, last time we met was at your apartment, wasn't it? When I came to Chicago to get Peggy Douglas.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Well, I understand you've decided to become a permanent resident here in Wakefield.
Uh-huh.
You know, Mr. Vaughn, in a little town like this, everyone knows everyone else's doings almost as soon as they happen. You probably aren't quite used to that yet.
I'm learning fast, though.
Well, how do you like it here in Wakefield? Or have you had time to form an opinion as yet?
Oh, yes, I think so. And I like it fine. It's sure different from living in Chicago.
Yes, indeed it is. There's some lovely country around here, you know.
Well, I imagine there is. But so far, I haven't gotten around much. I've been too busy getting this supper club started.
Oh, yes. How's it coming along?
Well, Mr. Bowman, I guess you know that that's what I came to see you about. You see, I'm managing the place for Del Shipley. She's a good friend of Aunt Mary's.
Fine woman. I've met her several times.
Well, the thing is that it's Del's place. She asked me to see you about a loan. Well, while we get underway, you know. Most of Del's money is tied up in this place she has in Chicago, the Golden Peacock. So, well, we thought if you could feel that clear to...
Yes. Well, Mr. Long, most of our business here at the bank is with the farmers around Wakefield. We let them have money to buy new equipment, put in improvements, that sort of thing. But a nightclub, somewhat different undertaking. I'm not sure.
Oh, but it's not really a nightclub, Mr. Bowman. We haven't a name for it yet, and that's why we've just been calling it the supper club. But you see, we intend to serve food, have a little entertainment during the week, and then on weekends we'll have an orchestra down from Chicago and turn the place over to the young people.
The young people? Oh, I see.
It was Aunt Mary's idea. She's been worried because the teenage kids have no place around here where they can go. Except the roadhouses outside of town, and, you know what those places are, a lot of drinking and... So anyway, that's how we got the scheme started.
Sounds like a workable plan.
And you see, that's why we need a little money to go on. We've been going over the banquet room at the hotel. You see, we don't intend to charge the kids anything at all. We hope to be able to run on any profits we'll make from the rest of the week. Until we get rolling, we'll be operating at a loss, I imagine. But with any luck, it won't be long until we'll be out of the woods.
Well, it's too late till there hasn't anything like that. There may be room for it once people accept the idea.
Well, that's just it. It seems to me people here would be darn glad to have a place they could go, to dance, have a little entertainment. But don't you think so?
Well, Miss Devon, you're quite a saleswoman. Of course, we'll have to look into the matter more thoroughly, but I'd be very happy to consider making you laugh.
Gee, that's swell, Mr. Bowman. You know, I was just telling Aunt Mary I was kind of scared to come and see you.
You were? I didn't know I was such a loser.
Oh, it wasn't that. But as I told you, a lot of people here in town seem to kind of back away from anybody who's been in show business. I was afraid you'd be like that, too.
Well, now you put me on the defensive, Mr. Vaughn. I'll have to prove to you that I'm not. Look, I'll tell you what. Why don't you have dinner with me tonight? We can talk over the rest of your plans and get better acquainted with the moment.
Why, Mr. Bowman, that's very nice of you.
And you will?
Yes, I'd like to very much.
It was after closing time, and the bank's doors had been locked for the day. David Bowman let Lily Devon out, walked slowly back, and sat down at his desk. But after a moment, he rose and went to the window. He could see the lovely blonde girl crossing the street, walking quickly, her tall, slender body full of vitality and youth. He watched her until she disappeared. And Lily, at the same moment, was smiling as she thought of David Bowman's asking her for a date. But then she realized that no one had since she'd been in Wakefield. By no one, Lily meant Randy Lane.